My name is Miriam Sloan with the Runner's Mechanic Physical Therapy Clinic, and today I want to give you 4 big tips if you're a beginner runner. And this will help with injury prevention and making your journey more successful to start running as a regular routine in your lifestyle. Okay, the first one, be sure to warm up. Okay, so whatever time that you've allotted yourself for your run, please start with a first 10-minute brisk walk. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Okay, we just want to get that heart rate up and start feeling like your soft tissues are starting to get warm and more supple. All right, everyone asks me if this is a good time to stretch. Okay, if you do any kind of stretching before your run, okay, first do the 10-minute brisk walk. All right, and then if you want to do dynamic stretches. All right, dynamic stretches are when you move in and out of a range of motion. It does not mean static stretching, okay? So those long holds where you don't move, this is not the time for static stretching. After you do your brisk walk, you can do things like hip circles, toe swipes. I have a little segment on my YouTube channel if you want to look at some of the ones I recommend. You can do skips. You can do karaoke's, okay? There's all kinds of dynamic warm-ups that you can do, and that's the time to do it before your run, okay? But if you just want the bare minimum, do a 10-minute brisk walk before you start your run. All right, tip number 2, okay? I highly recommend choosing a run-walk program, okay? And what this means is that you maybe pick a certain amount of time to run and then a certain amount of time to walk, and cycle those 2 things until you get your desired amount of time. So here I have an example of a 3-minute run and a 2-minute walk, okay? So altogether that's 5 minutes. You can try that 5-minute run-walk routine for 5 to 6 rounds, and that will give you total time of 25 to 30 minutes, okay? This is a great way to, 1, start to introduce your body to a new movement or sport, okay? So running is a lot of bounding, so that way we do a little bit of bounding and break it up with a little bit of walking, okay? It also is a great way to start getting your total amount of time where you don't have to run the entire time and feel cardiovascularly less fit, okay? So this will give yourself time to become a little bit more cardiovascular fit and get used to the running movement, all right? The third tip, effort, okay? So what should your form look like? All right, effort should be the amount of exertion that you're putting forth. I usually tell people, try to keep it conversational at first, okay? So for that 3-minute run time, try not to go all out, all right? You don't need sprinting or anything that feels vigorous or too hard. So if you were having a friend with you, it'd be a nice pace where you could still have a conversation, you just might be a little bit winded, okay? That's a great effort level to start for your run time of your run walk program. All right, form-wise, one thing that I see the most when I join beginner runner groups and I talk to them is sometimes runners try so hard to keep up or hit a certain pace that they're landing extremely hard on their feet and land with a very straight knee. So it feels like a lot of impact, okay? So I do recommend people practice their run walk by themselves so they can practice on their form. And the one thing that I would like you to feel when you do your run is that your landings are soft and your touchdowns are light and brief, okay? I had one client one time tell me, it's almost like you're running and you have an egg between your teeth and you don't want to crack it. And I think that's a great way to visualize running with gentle landings, okay? So forget about your pace, forget about how much distance you need to cover in that run time. You know, say we did it 3 minutes, forget about how much pace or distance you're trying to cover. Try to make those landings light and soft, okay? And the last thing is your cool down, all right? Do try to take some time, maybe it's 5 to 10 minutes of walking to cool down. And this is a great time if you do like to go into yoga or do some static stretching, this would be a better time to do it, okay? Your tissues are warm and you're probably gonna get a little more efficacy with that. All right, so just to run down the 4 points. 1, start with a warm up. That's the time to briskly walk, and if you wanna do a couple of dynamic stretches, that's perfect. 2, choose a run-walk program. So whether it's 3 minutes of running, 3 minutes of walking, 5 minutes of running, 1 minute of walking, some paradigm of that would be great to start. As you get more fit, you can start running more consecutive minutes and taking the walk times out. 3, form. Try not to worry about your pace, okay? Keep your effort moderate. You could still have a conversation, and try to keep your contacts with your feet soft. So if you had an eggshell between your teeth, you wouldn't crack it. All right, and lastly, take some time to cool down. I hope these tips are helpful. Please reach out to me if you have any questions whatsoever. I have my website, therunnersmechanic.com, or you can email me at runnersmechanic@gmail.com. Have a great day.